Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World. Today we're in Bahia, in Salvador, the capital of Bahia, having a great time. We got San Francisco, the church behind us, the coolest thing to see in the Pelorinho district of Salvador. And today we have for you the 5 things you're going to love and hate about coming to Salvador. The first thing you're not going to like is when you're going around, there's going to be a lot of people trying to put on the Fitas on you all the time, and you're like, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. Just keep telling them no, and they'll eventually go away. And you can hear the Fitas and the flags. We're here for the festival in June, and it's a really cool thing, but it gets annoying when every person is like, here, have a Fita. Here, let me put that on you. Let me put that on you. Like, oh, just stop it, okay? Now, the second thing you're not going to like is when you're going around, there's going to be all these ladies that are dressed up in traditional Bahian dress, which is really cool, but they want you to take their picture and pay them. If you do want to do that, make sure you negotiate the price beforehand. Otherwise, it's like, oh, I want 50 reals or something like that, and that's really annoying. So if you want to take their picture, it's okay, but ask them how much it costs beforehand, because they're here to make money off the pictures, so you can negotiate what you feel is better. Third thing you're not going to like about coming to Salvador is we're in Bahia, and all of Brazil makes fun of Bahia for being a little bit slower, as in everything takes longer, whether it's your food, your drinks, or getting your bills, all kinds of stuff. It just takes a little bit more time here. Fourth thing you're not going to like is this actually is not one of the safer places to go in Brazil, so you want to be very careful, especially at late night. So make sure you're paying attention. Stay at your hotel in the evening. If you're going to go out with your friends, go in a group, but ask your concierge, where should we go, where should we not go, because there are some bad parts of town, so just be careful with that. The fifth thing you might not like about coming here is, yes, you got the Pelorinho district, which is really cool, the high city. You got the market, the low city, which is nice, but to go to like the Bom Fim Church where you tie on your fitas and things, you want to go to Friday the 14th, they're not really that close, so you got to travel around. And travel around Salvador can be a bit hair-raising, so that is kind of a problem. But those are 5 things you might not like. None of them are really that bad. Maybe the crime one is, but the rest, it's nothing too bad that you can't take care of. But what are you going to love? We'll go to a different part of Salvador that you can do the loves of this beautiful city. So those are some things you might not like about Bahia and going to Salvador, but I'll be honest, it's a fun place to go. And one of the best things about it is coming to the beach, because there's 45 kilometers of beaches and even more beaches farther afield. So let's get into things you're going to love. But before we talk about the beaches, let's start with that Pelorinho district that I was just in, the historic high city, the Cidade Alta. You walk around there, you got the San Francisco, the St. Francis Church. I mean, it is just fantastic. You walk around, you see the historic colonial buildings there. It is unbelievable when you go around there. So definitely take the time to go around and explore that. The second thing you're gonna love is taking that elevador Lacerda, taking the elevator down, because our guy was telling us, like, look, New York has got its Statue of Liberty, and Paris has its Eiffel Tower. We have our elevator here in Bahia, and you gotta take it. It's like 25 cents. It's like nothing to take. Take that down, go to the Comercio, the Mercado down there, and the thing is, there's an indoor market that has all kinds of cool stuff to check out. I mean, it's artisanal things and crazy things, and it's one of those experiences of coming to Salvador. And of course, there's the churches down there, and you'll see when you're in Salvador, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be redone, but it's kind of cool to take it in. You can really see that Portuguese colonial influence, which is really cool, okay? So one, the Pelourinho, that historic up top, and the Salvador de Bahia, the Mercado, the commercial part on the bottom. Those are 2 places you really got to go when you're here. Third thing you're going to love here is Bahian food. Look, we're on the sea, and you really get a lot of great seafood when you are here. And they have this thing called dende oil, which is a spicy oil. And the 2 things you really have to have here, aside from all kinds of seafood, is acarajé, which is like a bean. I don't know, it looks like a baked potato, but it's made out of bean curd kind of stuff. They fry it, they cut it open, and they put in dried shrimp, and they put in some dende oil in there and some other stuff. It is fantastic, and you'll see the women dressed in white making it. Literally, it's like a law that you have to be from Bahia, wearing this outfit, to make a acarajé. It's fantastic. If you want something a little different, there's a moqueca, which is like it could be with camarão, with shrimp, which is like a stew that's here. There's all kinds of great local food here in Bahia, so make sure you're eating those things. And if you're going to stay at a resort, a lot of the resorts here don't have a lot of traditional Bahian food, so make sure you go out and get a chance to try some of that. These beach places you can come to, a lot of them will have the fish and stuff like that. The redfish here, fantastic. You can have octopus, you can have lobster, all kinds of great things. But the food here is really great, and that traditional food. And that's at least the 4th thing you're going to love here is the traditional Bahian kind of culture things. Because when you come to Bahia, and you come to Salvador specifically, I mean, this is the hub of Afro-Brazilian culture. So you have the different religions, and you have the capoeira, the dance fighting you'll see around. I mean, that's one of the coolest things is going around and seeing the capoeira guys going and bringing your kids involved. And it is really kind of a cool thing to do when you see all these different cultures out there. And if you get a chance, you'll go to see one of the Candomblé religions kind of things. It's like an African religion, and it mixed with Christianity and Catholicism. It's pretty cool. If you're in January where they have the procession going up to the Igreja Bom Fim, where you get the Fitas, the things like this, it is kind of a cool thing to check out. You can take tours. They'll show you some of the religious stuff. They'll throw in capoeira, but the culture here, it's very different than all the rest of Brazil, which is really kind of cool. And that's why when you are here, make sure you do get your fita, okay, the little ribbon, and do tie it on when you go to the Igreja de Bom Fim, the Bom Fim Church, which is not in Pelorinho and it's not in the Cidade de Bahia. You got to go a little bit farther afield, like I said, to get there. But go there, tie one of these on, make your 3 wishes, you know, while you're there. Maybe you pray for one of your family or friends to be healed. You go in the church, it's actually pretty cool when you go in there and you see the room of miracles where they have the wax. You know, like, oh, I hurt my arm, there's a wax arm there, my kidneys, I need kidney stones, they have, you know, wax kidneys there, all these kind of things. It's really kind of a cool thing that when you come here, like, yes, I want to do that. And you always know when people have been to Bahia because they got their lembranças do Bom Fim, their remembrances of Bom Fim, which is kind of cool. And the 5th thing you're going to love about coming here is, look behind me. I mean, come on, let's be honest. You got the beach, you got great food, I mean, come on, you can't beat it. Going to the beach here with all the pristine sandy beaches, it is a fantastic place. So if you get a chance, come to Bahia, hit the beaches and the historic cities, and it's really cool. And actually, if you go to Praia do Forte, which is about 60-70 kilometers north of Salvador, they actually have a turtle refuge you can go to, which is cool for the kids. We had a good time there, and the beaches all around are really good. I will warn you though, sometimes the riptides can be, at certain times of the year, the riptides can be pretty tough. Liam got sucked out about 5 feet before I grabbed him, so you do want to be careful with that with the little ones, but otherwise, it's a fantastic place to go. Anyway, I hope you liked our 5 things you love and hate about Bahia. It is an awesome place. Salvador is well worth visiting. We hope you have a great time when you are here. If you want to learn more, 10 things that'll shock you about Brazil, 5 things you love and hate about Brazil, all kinds of stuff, check us out on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you know, all those good things. And we really appreciate like, subscriptions, and please visit Brazil. É maravilhoso. It's marvelous here. Adeus.